She had had a lot of different jobs in her life. She had worked as a waitress, a hairdresser, a cook, and a baker. Then she retired and she spent a lot of time with her family and friends, enjoying life and nature. Would you like to be able to tell stories like this one and talk about the past in English correctly? Who wouldn't, right? Hello awesome friends, and welcome back to Q&A English with a video about the forms, uses and time expressions of the past perfect tense, which we try to present in an easy and interesting way so you don't struggle to use it when you talk about the past or you tell funny stories. With that being said, let's start with the first question. How do we form the past perfect tense? We make past perfect positive sentences with had and the past participle of the main verb. The past participle of a regular verb is its ed form, so we say I had worked, you had worked, he had worked, she had worked, it had worked, we had worked, and they had worked. If the verb is irregular, we use its so-called third form as a past participle. We've chosen slept as an example, and this time we'll use the contracted form of had with it. You may want to repeat after me to practice your pronunciation. I'd slept, you'd slept, he'd slept, she'd slept, it'd slept, we'd slept, and they'd slept. Creating the past participle of our regular verbs is easy, and we'll have a look at them in a moment. Unfortunately, the irregular verbs like sleep, slept, don't follow a pattern, and you simply need to learn them, which can be a bit challenging, as some of our students may complain from time to time. However, we're coming with an exciting video where we try to present the most common irregular verbs with their meanings and forms in an easy and entertaining way soon. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. Now, let's have a look at the ed forms of the regular verbs. And the rule is, most verbs add ed to the infinitive. Work, worked, watch, watched. They had worked very hard before the film was finished and watched. Here comes the slightly tricky part of the rule, the spelling changes of ed forms of regular verbs that we need to apply when we write in English. 1. Verbs ending in e, drop e and add d. Arrive, arrived, bake, baked. They had baked cookies before the guests arrived. 2. Verbs ending in consonant and y, drop y and add ied. Study, studied, marry, married. Kevin and Elaine had studied at school together before they got married. And 3. Verbs ending in consonant, vowel, consonant, double the last letter and add ed. Stop, stopped, plan, planned. They were happy that they had planned to have a holiday together. Next, we'll learn how to make the negative forms. We make past perfect negative sentences with had not, hadn't, and the past participle of the verb, so we say I had not worked, you had not worked, he had not worked, she had not worked, it had not worked, we had not worked, they had not worked. Or I hadn't slept, you hadn't slept, he hadn't slept, she hadn't slept, it hadn't slept, we hadn't slept, they hadn't slept. And finally the questions, which we make by putting had before the subject and the past participle after the subject. Had I worked? Had you worked? Had he worked? Had she worked? Had it worked? Had we worked? Had they worked? Now that we've learned the forms, let's have a look at the next question, which is, when do we use the past perfect tense? 1. We use it when we're already talking about the past and want to talk about an earlier past. His bus was late and he ran to the station, but the train had already gone. A bit confusing, right? Let's have a closer look at these events with a timeline which will help us understand what exactly happened in that period of time. In these two sentences, we've got 3 actions from the past and they happened in the following order. 1. The train had gone. This is earlier past. 2 and 3. The bus was late. He ran to the station. These happened after the first one. So we use the past perfect tense for the first action that happened in the past. The bus was late and he ran to the station, but the train had already gone. Can you make similar sentences to practice this use? It'll be great if you write them in the comment section below so we can see your progress. The next use is for an action which finished in the past with a result visible in the past. They were happy. They had finished the project successfully. Or for something that happened in the past and was important for a later moment in the past. He had forgotten his key and couldn't get into the car. And here we are with the third and last question, which is, what are the past perfect time expressions? We use after and past perfect to talk about an action that was completed before another action began. After Mark had done the shopping, he made dinner. We use when and the past perfect for an action that happened immediately before another began. When he'd finished cooking, he sat down to enjoy the view. And finally, we can use the past perfect tense with time words such as already, just, never, before, etc. to talk about earlier past. They'd performed a lot of surgeries, but they had never seen anything like that before. We're sure you all have some stories to share. They could be funny, sad, or even shocking. We'll be more than happy if you write them in the comment section below. It'll be a great exercise for you to practice the forms, uses, and time expressions of the past tenses in English. Check out the other lessons on Q&A English. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Be happy. Stay happy. Bye.